Hey guys, Michael the DC Multiverse Collector here. Look, it's been a really weird morning in the DC Multiverse collecting community. I woke up and I'm recording this like in the morning, so I'm like barely caffeinated, please excuse me. But I woke up in the morning to a flurry of text messages from friends saying like, hey man, a new McFarlane DC Multiverse Wave, Build-A-Figure Wave has been announced. Awesome, I love Build-A-Figure Waves. Usually you get like a really cool Build-A-Figure. I love it, so far so good. Yeah, it's based on Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm like, fantastic, a classic story. We've already got the anti-monitor. I'm really excited. It's a Build-A-Figure anti-monitor. I'm still really excited, and I'm just waking up and I'm kind of like, this all sounds really cool. And then they said, oh, it's McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. And I went, oh. And then they said, oh, and the prices have increased to $40 a figure. And I went, oh. And then they said, yeah, and the community's going feral about it. Everyone's pissed off. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. So then I went and I looked into it. And I've seen the figures. So if you haven't seen, McFarlane Toys has announced a brand new Build-A-Figure Wave based on Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's got a Build-A-Figure monitor, and the figures in the wave are the Spectre, who looks really cool in my opinion, but we'll get into the figures themselves later. But it's the Spectre, it's Kid Flash, it's Superman of Earth 2, and it's Psycho Pirate. And I think all these figures, just sort of, if you look at them in isolation, look really cool. And conceptually, I love this wave. And so, my reaction was, these figures look really good, but oh my God, they're expensive. What is going on? I went onto the sort of the groups that, I inhabit and lurk on, and everyone is going absolutely feral. I'm out of the hobby. No more McFarlane. I'm switching to NECA. Worse than Hasbro. Angry emails to McFarlane Toys. I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. $40 US for a standard figure. This something doesn't make sense, right? And then I see Todd McFarlane's or McFarlane Toys customer service email reply. People emailed McFarlane Toys, and McFarlane Toys emailed a response. And to paraphrase, the response basically said, look, yeah, there's some special tooling involved, and it's a limited quantity of this particular wave. So, there's been a slight price increase or something to that effect. Now, I found that really interesting because tooling wise, look, there's a lot of reuse in this wave. The monitor looks like a brand new sculpt, and the Spectre does too. Superman, I can't put my finger on it. It looks unique, but there might be some reuse there, and Kid Flash is definitely reuse. So the tooling doesn't impress me. I think Superman is meant to have a wired cape, which is pretty cool, but if that's true, it doesn't justify this cost. The thing that struck me was this sort of limited run, or this limited quantities, production in limited quantities. And I'm like, what is going on here? Why is McFarlane Toys releasing a figure wave in January, Build-A-Figure Wave, exclusive to the McFarlane Toy Store, which has never happened, by the way, for a Build-A-Figure Wave from memory, and doing it at this like insane $40 price point? What is happening? And I've got a theory, but before I get into the theory, I just want to acknowledge I'm not here to minimize anyone's annoyance or disappointment. The whole deal with McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line has traditionally been that it's been pretty good value for what you get, especially compared to the competition. And now to have figures creep up to that collector edition price point, and then now, a Build-A-Figure Wave at $40 a figure. I mean, that stings, right? I get it. And you're right to be annoyed and think it's not good enough. And I'm not here to diminish any of that, okay? But what I want to figure out is what's going on. Is this indicative of price increases across the line? Which I think we're going to have that eventually. But is this actually indicative of a price increase now for $40 for US for a Build-A-Figure wave? Or is it something aberrant? And I have a theory. This theory might not pan out. Before we get into the theory, let's just look at the figures for a minute. So this is a series of figures based on a crossover event, okay? There's some figures we've had before, like Kid Flash is a character we've had before, Superman obviously as well. So it's a really interesting one, and it reminds me a lot of the Flashpoint wave that we had, okay? Which was the Target exclusive Flashpoint Build-A-Figure Wave. You had like Flashpoint Flash, we had Aquaman, but Emperor Aquaman. So there's like repeats of characters that we've had based on a classic crossover event. A Build-A-Figure. It's giving me those vibes. My theory is that this wave was meant to be this year's Target exclusive Build-A-Figure wave that comes out one every 3 months. Now, you recall the previous waves have been, there was a Batman Beyond wave that came out over the year. There was a Crime Syndicate wave with a Starro Build-A-Figure came out over the year. And then last year we had the Flashpoint wave that came out at Target every 3 months or so, every 4 months, something like that. We had a new figure. I suspect that this is this year's Target Build-A-Figure wave. Now, I might be proven wrong very quickly when they announce the new Target Build-A-Figure exclusive wave, and I'm clearly incorrect. But if we don't get a Target exclusive Build-A-Figure wave this year, then I'm going to say that I'm right, and that this is that wave, that it's been canned or Target passed on it. Because that's the vibe I'm getting, right? Let me tell you why. So I've already spoken about the theme of the wave. Like last year we had Flashpoint. This year we've got Crisis on Infinite Earths. There was a Flash figure in last year, a classic looking Flash figure. This year there's a classic looking Flash figure. The vibe of the wave gives me that impression. So that's nothing concrete there, I accept. The timing, this is being announced in January, shipping out in March. That timing sort of aligns with when you would expect the first figure in the Target Build-A-Figure wave to come out at Target. It'd be unusual for them now to do a Target exclusive wave for a Build-A-Figure wave, and this Build-A-Figure wave coming out at around the same time. They just don't do that. This is sort of usually the time to shine for that first figure in the Target wave. We've never had a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Build-A-Figure wave before. So it's weird, right? Like something's up. And this limited quantities point that McFarlane refers to in their customer service standard email when people are pissed about the price. They say, well, there's been tooling, special tooling, okay? And it's produced in limited quantities. Now, I think this is more likely to be the case for what's going on here. I think this was a wave that was developed, designed, tooled, presented to Target, and I think Target have passed somehow. They have, whether it's they've got a contractual right to do so, or whether there's going to be a big fight with McFarlane, who knows, but Target aren't having it. And so I think what's happened is that McFarlane has been left either with stock that's been produced, limited stock, or no stock, but just like prototypes, and they're like, well, we've put all this R&D into it, or we've produced all these figures, we've got to get rid of them somehow. Retail doesn't want them. We're going to have to sell them through McFarlane Toy Store, but because of the numbers, we're going to have to charge a higher price. I think that is probably more likely what's happened. This is a cost recovery exercise. Something's gone wrong with this wave in terms of its distribution and release, and now McFarlane's doing it in-house, and they have to charge through the roof. Now, I say have to. Of course, they don't have to. They can charge whatever they want, but in order for them to feel like they're meeting their expenses, they're charging a bomb. It might also be a bit of market research to see what we're willing to pay. So factor that into your purchasing decision, but that is what I think is happening. I think this is the Target Build-A-Figure wave for 2024 that Target passed on, and we are being asked to foot the bill for it. I don't think this is indicative of a price increase at this level, at this time, across the line. I think this is limited to this wave. Now, not to say that later on in the year we won't have a price increase in line with this. I hope not, but I just don't think that's what this is. I think this is an aberration. I think it's better to think of this as more like a Comic-Con exclusive situation. Like, companies will produce limited quantities of a product for Comic-Con or another convention. There's not that many of them out there, so they charge through the roof. I'm not saying this is exactly that, but I think you have to look at it through this mindset that this is something that it's happening, it's at a high price, you don't have to buy it, right? These aren't really essential characters. Some people would say they are. I don't think they are like super essential. Do I wish they were cheaper and just have a standard release? Yes, but look, I'm in Australia and I'm used to paying high prices for things and importing things, and it's the nature of the beast down here because we're so far away and wages are higher, and it's just a different market, right? So it's easy for me to say because I'm kind of being conditioned into paying high prices. I can see why everyone's annoyed. I don't mean to minimize it. If this becomes a line-wide increase and everything's coming out, Build-A-Figures are all coming out at $40 a piece, I'll be pissed like you. I think that's ridiculous. The figures aren't that good. Like, they're good. I like them. That Spectre figure looks terrific. I think the monitor looks really good too. But there's nothing about that tooling, even like, a wide cape, big deal, that justifies that cost. I think there's a way to do this wave where it doesn't hurt so much. You can buy it on the McFarlane Toy Store. If you buy the bundle, it's like $15 off, I think. And then you can use like a 15% off code punch 15 or something like that, and that brings it down more. And then by the time you do that, and then you consider that you're getting 5 figures for that price, the maths kind of works out that it's not too bad. I'm not here to tell you to do that. It's your money. That's just my 2 cents. I think the figures themselves are actually looking pretty good. If this was a standard Build-A-Figure wave, no one would be complaining. I think we'd all be quite happy. But yeah, guys, like, I think that's just the way it is. If you're pissed, I get it. I'm not telling you not to be pissed, but I feel like it's not quite time to panic yet. Like, you know, just cool your jets, I think, and let's just wait and see what happens. If this is the target Build-A-Figure wave and it's an aberration, then we can just write this off as a one-off, right? Like, it happened, it sucked. But of course, if it's a part of a bigger trend, we'll have more to talk about for sure. So yeah, that's what I think is going on. Certainly a rough start for McFarlane Toys for 2024. It's not the note you want to sort of start the year on, like everyone annoyed, sending you angry emails saying you're quitting the line. Hopefully things get a bit smoother from here on out. And, you know, I think there's a lot of great figures coming. If rumors pan out, there's a lot of great figures coming this year. So we should hold out for those. Focus on the positives. You do not have to buy everything. Hopefully future releases are more reasonably priced. That's all from me. Just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And look, if this has been helpful or entertaining or interesting, please give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't. That really, really helps me out. And hopefully I'll have some reviews for you soon. I should get hit soon with the new Wonder Woman and Animal Man, Red Tornado. Some really awesome figures coming. So I think there's a lot to be excited about. I'm looking forward to bringing you those reviews and my thoughts. Until next time, happy collecting. Thanks so much for watching. This video was brought to you with the support of Fett's Hideout Toys and Collectibles. For a great range of toys from DC Multiverse to Black Series to Marvel Legends, Hot Toys and more, visit Fett's Hideout Toys and Collectibles and use the offer code DCDUDE. That's DCDUDE for an exclusive discount month to month. Could be 5% off or $5 off at checkout. Try the code, see what you get, place an order with Fett's, and you won't be disappointed. And we thank Fett's for their continued support of this channel.